I'm Augustus, and I'm traveling the United States to listen to real Americans and to tell them about my candidacy for President of the U.S. in 2028. I'm here in Boise, Idaho, where the high desert meets the foothills of the Rockies and the Boise River flows through the heart of the City of Trees. My plan seems obvious and necessary to me, but behind me in these halls and for other presidential candidates, it could be considered unnecessary, maybe even bizarre. The plan is to visit every capital in this country over the course of about 60 days, not to give motivational speeches, but to listen. I'm here to hear about the skyrocketing property taxes that are pricing families out of their own neighborhoods, the water rights concerns facing our farmers in the Treasure Valley, and the housing crisis that is turning our neighbors into a generation of workers struggling to keep up with the boomtown economy. Idaho is known as the gem state, yet it feels as if that beauty is being sold off to the highest bidder, while the people who have lived here for decades are left behind. It is the Idahoans who are doing the farming, the logging, and the building. I am standing at the Idaho State Capitol. This building is a capital of light, a testament to the state's heritage, constructed with native sandstone and marble. This structure was designed to be a centerpiece, meant to represent the enduring strength of the people. It's a tribute to a state that has always looked toward the horizon, from the Nez Perce and the Shoshone-Bannock nations to the pioneers who saw promise in this valley. It's easy to talk about Idaho's beauty, but I'm more interested in Idaho's people. If you want to represent Idaho, you have to speak for the irrigation crews keeping the valley green, and the linemen who keep the power moving through mountain passes in midwinter. There is no wait and see for them. They outlast the elements because resilience is baked into the soil here. My job isn't to lecture you about geography, it's to acknowledge that the spirit found in a Hell's Canyon outfitter is the same one that built this city. To be the leader of the whole country, you actually have to know the whole country. You have to breathe the crisp air of Glacier National Park, admire the views along the Pacific Coast Highway, cross the mighty Mississippi, and visit the beautiful Smoky Mountains. You cannot lead a people you do not know, and you cannot know the people from inside a high-flying jet, a speeding motorcade, or a gilded office in D.C. Having lived in 7 states so far and visited all 50 at least once before, I think I have a glimmer of understanding of who we, the people of the United States, truly are. But you can never stop learning. That's why I'm visiting each state again, and why I will continue to do so both during my campaign and during my time in office. Now, you might be thinking, who is this guy? As I said, I'm Augustus. I was born in New York State 65 years ago. Like you, I've spent much of my life working. I've seen presidents come and go, and industries rise and fall. And I've watched as the people who keep this nation functioning, the nurses at St. Luke's, the crews maintaining I-84, and the staff at your local Winco are treated like cattle or sheep, not human beings. You may be asking yourself, is he qualified? The Constitution says I am. For me, being qualified means working as hard as I can to help the most people possible. You need to decide for yourself what qualified means to you. Think about the people who meet in this capital or in Washington, D.C. How many of them are qualified in your eyes? How many of them are working to make your utility bills manageable or your fuel prices affordable? It seems to me that many representatives have forgotten the primary requirement of their jobs. Remembering who they represent. They shouldn't represent the lobbyists, they shouldn't represent their party, and they definitely should not represent the ultra-rich. Your representatives and the President of the United States should represent you, period. I stand for the people, not for corporations that treat employees like disposable parts, not for the rich and ultra-rich who treat the law as a suggestion, and not for the special interests who think their way is the only way. I believe in a land of freedom and opportunity, not a land where out-of-state investors push families out of the towns they've called home for generations. Why consider an unaffiliated, unconventional candidate like me? Maybe because you're exhausted. You're sick of having to choose between generic candidate A and generic candidate B, neither of whom has had to decide between a grocery bill and a mortgage payment. While a vote for a candidate who isn't a member of one of the 2 major parties can be scary, isn't it scarier to have to choose between bad and worse? Choose to vote for someone who will actually work to make your lives better. Vote from compassion, not fear. The motto of Idaho is Esto Perpetua. Let it be perpetual. It's a phrase that speaks to the enduring nature of this place. Sadly, it feels like the only thing being made perpetual is the wealth of the rich and ultra-rich. It's time to ensure that the prosperity of the state reaches the people working 2 jobs just to put food on the table and a roof over their heads. I'm headed to Salt Lake City, Utah next. I have many capitals and many miles ahead of me. If you see me in your state, don't just take a picture, come over and say hello. Tell me what's keeping you up at night. Tell me what you want for your children. I'm Augustus, and I'm here to listen. I'll see you on the steps where you live. Speak for the Boise Steps speech, April 14th, 2026. I just poked myself in the eye. Let's start that again. Boop. It's easy to talk about Idaho's beauty, but I'm more interested. It's easy to talk about. Sure, it's easy.